Breaking news, Reign fans. Jacob Doty has been suspended the remainder of the season. April Fools. Welcome back to Season 2, Episode 29. Round the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cloud Show. That is the Make It Rain podcast, Season 2, Episode 29. Let me slow the heart rate and slow my words down. We're in the same room because it is Easter Sunday, or, well, it's not Easter Sunday. It's Saturday. It's Holy Saturday. As of right now, we're recording this. I am just home for the weekend. That is Mariners very own Anthony Collazo. I am Joe O'Regan, as you probably know already. 2 games for your Ontario Reign this week, which is kind of weird because we are very used to the 3-game weeks. Mr. Collazo, how are we?
Joe is a very excited man to be home for a little bit. Joe, I am doing swell myself. Yes, 2 games only for the Ontario Reign. I think Cam mentioned it on the broadcast, how he was like, no game tomorrow. And after a night like this, you know, I kind of want a game tomorrow. I think that's how we all feel. So,
oh, yeah.
It was a great week for the Ontario Reign. Great week.
Oh, yeah. Kid you not, right? Quickly into the Zamboni cleaning. So, well, there's no movement from AHL and NHL standards, but there have been a bunch of players that have been inked to contracts. So, officially, the Slukinski brothers, Hampton and Grant, have been inked into their respective contracts. Grant's on an ATO and a 1-year AHL contract, and Hampton has signed his entry-level contract to end up with the Reign next season, probably. That's my guess. Henry Brustevich, also today out of that matter, because we're recording this Saturday night, has been inked to his entry-level contract following the London Knights elimination in the OHL playoffs. Brendan Gorman, center from Princeton, 13 goals, 9 assists, 22 points, and a -2 in 34 games, has also been inked to an amateur tryout for your Ontario Reign. That's a lot of players.
Yeah, and obviously the headline is probably Hampton Slukinski, a.k.a. Hammer, as we are probably all going to call him, as he makes his way through the system. In 2024-2025 at Western Michigan, he had 25 games played, a 1.9 goal GAA, and a .922 save percentage. This season, 39 games played, a 2.3 GAA, and a .915 save percentage. So he's good, man. He's good, and you know, next year when it's Carter George and Hampton Slukinski, that's going to be a fun year for Reign fans.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of fighting over who's going to get more playing time in the AHL next year between those two.
Well, they're going to split, but when the playoffs roll around, that's going to be a conversation.
That's going to be a necessary conversation too.
Yeah.
Especially out of that matter, because both of these guys are 20 years old. Will be 20 years old at around this time next year. Hampton will be 21.
Hampton will be 21. Carter George is going to be 20.
Whatever. You got my point.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Zamboni cleaning done. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Season 2, Episode 29 of the Make It Rain podcast. This is the pipeline for all things Los Angeles Kings prospect related. Just 45 minutes east of that I-10 freeway, baby. This episode of the Make It Rain podcast is presented to you by Gaudy Law. We all know having a game plan is key when it comes to your family's future. Are you? Yes, you ready? Gaudy Law is here to help, specialize in estate planning. Gaudy Law ensures your loved ones are protected from losing a ton of money and time to probate when you pass away. Just like on the ice, preparation matters. Don't wait till the last minute to make the right play, please. Visit GaudyLaw.com today to start playing for the future. Get estate planning pricing and a free consultation right on their website. Simple. Prices right on their website. Gaudy Law makes estate planning easy, understandable, and affordable. The link's in the description. You can visit their offices in downtown Upland. Happy April Fool's game Wednesday at Coachella Valley. The second to last road game of the season for the Reign takes them to Palm Desert with a bout versus the Firebirds. Ice Cole Gutman gets the good guys going. 37 seconds into the second period. Yep, he did it again. Double dip the chip. It's 2-0 Ontario. All right, let's spread the wealth now. Oh, captain, my captain. Joe Hicketts with a clap bomb. 3-0. And then Kenny. Anything's possible! 4-0 Ontario. Holy, we got a blowout in Palm Desert. And you know what? Cole Gutman decides to take the dogs for a walk. He walks to defense like a dog. And there's that. There's a hat. Yep, gone. Bye. Hat trick. Yep, second hat trick of the year for the Reign. It's 5-0. You thought that was it? Incorrect. April Fools. In the final frame, it is strictly business. Business. I can't even do it correctly. For the Godfather, and Marty McFly also wanted in on the fun. So he scores his 25th and his 50th point of the year. And Phoenix Stopley stops all 23 shots in his way. And the Rams beat the Seahawks by the final of 7-0. I'm gonna grab my hat here and put it back on.
Yeah, I've actually never watched The Godfather, so I don't know what you're really referring to there. I gotta watch it. I've been wanting to watch it for like probably over my life now.
A+.
I just never,
Yep.
It's a long movie. It's like a commitment to sit down and actually watch it, and I haven't done it yet.
It's like Interstellar. Interstellar is like a 3-hour
I
movie.
actually sat down and watched that like 6 months ago, maybe. Great movie.
Yep.
Anyway, I mean, I guess you just got to start just with the overall game, right?
No, by the way, this final score is not an April Fool's joke.
No, man. 7 goals, especially after, I mean, they came off a month stretch where they just weren't very good.
Could not score for the life of them.
Couldn't score, right? So
trust me, there are people in that Ontario Reign, like all in group chat on Facebook. You know who you are, just dunking on the offense whenever you could get the opportunity to do so. And honestly, and then when they put up 7 goals, one of the people I'm talking about here is like, hopefully this isn't a one-game occasion. Hopefully they didn't spend all their goals on one game. Well, later in the podcast, you'll figure it out. They didn't. So good to know. The Ontario Reign just pummeled the Firebirds in all 3 zones. I was busy hate watching the Colorado Eagles against the Bakersfield Condors this game. The Eagles won 5-2. So much for that. Yeah, you could go on with this game. I might just sit back and save my breath.
Yeah, man. I mean, the overarching just theme of this game was just scoring, right? Cole Gutman gets the second hat trick this season for the Reign, right after Cohen Zemer's hat trick right before the All-Star break, right? I tweeted after his first goal, I'm like, man, wouldn't the Reign love for him to have a hot streak like he did around the new year where he just went off, right?
Yeah.
And he goes off and he gets 3 goals, and on top of that, he gets an assist as well.
Yep, 4-point night for Cole Gutman. Yeah, you don't want to look past that. Another thing we don't want to look past either, Martin Chromiak's 25th goal, 50th point of the season. That's a huge milestone in a breakout year, especially like right now.
Yeah, and I said it last episode, right? It's very easy to kind of overlook Chromiak. He's the same age as Jared Wright. Now, I'm not saying that he's better than Jared Wright, right? But Chromiak is right there, man. He's still a young player. He still has time to really turn into a guy that the Kings were looking forward to him turning into. 25th goal, 50th point, both huge milestones, right? In a breakout year. He can look back at this year and be like, yeah, I mean, I really turned it around in the 2025-26 season. So good for him. I've been rooting for the kid to really have a big year the way he's had this year, and it's not a far-fetched statement to really say that he's been the overall best player on the Reign. Yeah,
I would definitely agree with you in that. 50 points, the plus minus speaks for itself too because it's over 0, and Martin Chromiak is, let's just say, starting to put it all together. Like we talked about him having a big breakout last year towards the end of the season. Trust me, you can go look at all the podcast episodes all you want if you want any more information on that. That was back when I was about 30 pounds heavier as well. But I also want to turn this to the goaltending a little bit. Phoenix Copley, in his last 7 starts, is 6-0-1 with a 1.72 goals against and a 9.29 save percentage.
Yeah, Copley.
Dang, Gina.
Yeah, he's been unbelievable, man. I mean, winning 6 of his last 7, right? If Eric Patillo wasn't
not amused, by the way, go ahead.
If Eric Patillo wasn't, this big prospect in the King system, I think they would be
looking to re-sign Copley after this year.
Well, not even just re-signing him, but there would be a conversation of who are you going to start in the playoffs this year?
Yeah, that also.
Know? Obviously, it's going to be Portillo. Obviously, he's probably been better throughout the entire season, but also he's the prospect, right? You got to get him those playoff reps for when he's on the Kings or maybe on a different NHL team, wink, wink, for next year, perhaps. He's got to have those reps, right? Copley's a veteran, probably an AHL vet at this point. replacement level goaltender, third goaltender. But yeah, Copley has been outstanding, and it's a good problem to have Portillo, Copley, and now you have Hammer back there, and maybe even George soon.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see Carter George anytime soon. The Sioux Greyhounds are just absolutely, they're on wagon watch, as one might say. Them and the Kitchener Rangers, which means good luck seeing Jared Woolley this year. Not gonna happen. So and after 5 games, it's the final game of the road trip for the Ontario Reign. They'll return home for the first time in 2.5 weeks as we break into game 2 here in a moment. They went from Des Moines to Henderson to Tucson, never returned home at all. Now, granted, they did have a lengthy break between Iowa and Henderson specifically, but then they had a fast turnaround into Tucson. And this team, the fatigue really caught up to them, especially towards the end of that road trip. This team's a little bit younger, and I know you were about to bring that up. And it kind of just felt like the inexperience that is there caught up to the guys that were playing.
Yeah, and let me tell you, that's not a statement or it's a statement, but it's not an assumption.
Yeah.
They said this in the post game after Saturday's game. Kenny Connors said, at the end it got a little tough. Angus Booth, Andrew Lord, they all said that road trip taxed them in a sense.
Yep. It tested them in a good way.
In a good way. And also, they had a bad month, but that road trip where they went to Iowa, they went to Henderson, Tucson, right? They still came out 500. It's not like they had this awful road trip. Now, was it bad for what this team has been overall? Yes.
By that standard,
I talked about it last episode, right? I talked about how they made some front office moves that were questionable and the road trip might be taxing them. They looked really good this week, and now I'm starting to think that maybe it's not an overconfidence all this time, right?
Maybe, yeah. You could think, last week, because I did watch the episode, like some of you guys might as well. We could sit and blame management all we want in the decision. In reality, they see a lot more than we do.
For sure.
So maybe the move is less of these guys suck and more of these guys just needed more time. Maybe. Because in Nikita Novikov's defense, it is so hard to join a team, join the defense dang near immediately, and then go right on the road.
No, for sure.
You had no time to practice at home. You had no time to figure anything out. Period. The end. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, and let me tell you one last thing about the schedule. They finished that road trip on really March 28th against Tucson in that second game, right? They come home probably on March 29th, and then you have probably 29th off, and then you have March 30th to practice.
And the 31st practice.
Then 31st practice, and then morning skate on the 1st. It's really, they were actually pretty much home against Coachella Valley because it's not too far away, right? So they got to sleep in their own beds.
Yep.
They got to relax a little bit. They got to practice at in El Segundo.
Yeah.
And they come out with a 7-0 dub.
Yeah. 7-0 ties the AHL franchise record for the Ontario Reign for biggest margin of victory. So good on the Ontario Reign. I don't know what other games there are. You can go ahead and do your own research on that behalf. With that, the Ontario Reign, for the first time in 17 days, return home, and they take on the Bakersfield Condors, a team recently that has been struck. Roby Arventi scores a power play goal. It's 1-0. Not ideal. You know what is ideal? Dotes just beating the brakes off of Sam Poland, and then the Godfather using all of that momentum to nod things up. Oh, Sam Poland's okay, and he scored with 53 seconds left. All right, it's 2-1. Okay, here's where it gets good. DRE man advantage goal. Nice shot, Pinelli, but Tippy Longstockings is in the building, and James Hamlin gives the Condors the lead. Okay. All right, time to start trying. Sit up in our chair. Let's lean forward a little bit, and why don't we? Tate McRae's boy. No, I'm just kidding. The other Jack Hughes scores a shorty. And no, I'm just kidding. Alexandra makes it 4-3 Ontario. And in the final frame, check your watch because it's yam time for Atu Yamson. It's 5-3 Ontario. And, oh, yeah, Nikki double dips the chip with an empty net goal. Reign wins, sweep the week, and Brazil the season series against the Condors 6-3. Hope you guys stayed with me that whole time. I spoke pretty fast on that one. Well, let's quickly cut to the chase. The Ontario Reign takes 7 of 8 from the Bakersfield Condors this season.
Yeah, I totally Braziled them. If you guys know the reference, 7-1 loss to what was it, Spain in 2014 World Cup semifinals.
Right.
Yep. So the Reign Brazil, the Condors, they take the season series, and once again, man, I mean, like you said, you were a little bit worried if the Reign wasted all their scoring on Wednesday's game.
Wrong.
Not the case at all, man. I mean, they came out the gates, got a little bit slow. Andrew Lord said that he wasn't very happy with the entirety of the first period. It's 2-1 after 1. And then, like you said, they just started trying, man. And the Reign just take off after that.
Yep. I mean, obviously, we know exactly what happened, which kind of led to the Reign just going like that. Just getting wheels up and getting off the runway, man. They were soaring after Jacob Doty. Literally had Sam Poland leaking from the face, man. Or as Cam McGuire says, punched in the face.
Landed one right on his face.
So that's what I was actually trying to do when I updated my road. I was trying to get that soundbite into this so that I can play it. I think after this, I'm going to get that soundbite and keep it in here for the rest of the season just so I can play that whenever I want.
Do you have it in there?
I don't. Not right now.
Brutal.
But like that call from Cam, I love Cam. Bad call. Funny call. Like, it's just the way he says, I wish I had it. Maybe we'll have Julia play it in the pod, maybe.
Landed one right on his face.
And he lands one right on his face. It's so funny, man.
It's the most unserious thing ever.
But yeah, man, Poland was leaking, man. I mean, they were cleaning up that blood at center ice and in front of the exit where the Condors like come in and come off the ice for a good like 5 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say 5 minutes. I got to the stadium a little bit late. Yes, I was there, by the way. I got to the stadium a little bit late. I got there right as Doty and Poland dropped the gloves. Well, I guess my aura did something. Or I don't know. But all right. I'll pump the brakes. And the Reign just answer accordingly, man. Glenn Gaudin almost right off the draw, clean entry. Cole Gutman shot loose. Pass, and Glenn Gaudin scores. It's free money right there. The Ontario Reign just played their game. Right after Doty, I mean, I could speak all I want about Doty just setting the tone, but yeah, that happens. Another thing, the Ontario Reign had 7 power play tries this game. Yes, they went 1 for 7. We got that part. Not impressive at all. Out of that matter, I think it's horrible that they went 1 for 7. That's bad. But they almost allowed 2 shorthanded goals. But thank you, 6'6" Swede, Eric Portillo.
Yeah, I mean, when they were on a power play, they allowed a shorthanded breakaway, which I'm sure you're referring to. And right before that, Martin Chromiak actually had a nice little back check and slowed down Daniel D'Amato. And he didn't really get a great shot off. Which, again, Chromiak has been having a great season. But yeah, Portillo lost his last 5 games for the first time in his career.
Yeah.
Right? Big win for him, especially right before the playoffs. He needed this.
Yeah, big win. You especially need that. And this team almost at times, it kind of just felt like, you know what, if you're going to get your first win, we're going to make you earn it. You're going to have to stay on your head in order to win this one. And, well, Eric Portillo, stand on his head. He did. It was also Ones and Wizards night. We were both rooting for Team Hufflepuff. Team Hufflepuff on top.
Listen, it wasn't like, okay, I'm going to be a part people here. I don't really care about Wands and Wizards night. Like
that's fair.
Like, I don't really care. But
for the inside joke.
With that being said, you said you were rooting for Hufflepuff, and I looked at the teams, and last year I made the mistake of not picking the starting goaltender because it's like 3 points.
Never twice.
So this year I'm like, I'm going to pick. I think they actually won in the previous year too when I first started working for the team a couple years ago. So I was like, okay, I'm going to pick the team with the starting goaltender, right? By the way, I'm pretty sure Copley had a spot on one of the teams. Waste of a spot, waste of a pick. Never picked that team.
Well,
right?
I mean, now that's just completely unless Portillo gets pulled and Copley ends up playing.
That's true, but that's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen.
When does that happen? Never, right?
Very rarely.
So I looked at teams, and not only is Portillo on Hufflepuff, they also have, I think, 2 guys who are on power play units, and power play is plus 50. And I'm like, this is the easiest pick of my life. Now, with that being said, they were in last place until the last period.
And
until
then
the last minute, pretty much.
Thank you, Nikki.
Yeah, I mean, first star.
Hey, Nikki.
I think the first star put him over the top.
Yep. Sounds about right.
Always pick the team
and the third
with
star,
starting
too.
goaltender.
And the third star, too, because Atu Yamson was on that team, too.
They got to balance these teams better. If you have the starting goaltender, you should not have 2 guys who are like prolific scorers. Like, you just shouldn't.
Well, too bad they did a very job trying to balance that out. So, you call it for what it is. And finally, my make it rant part of the episode. I had a situation where I had to love the nachos at section 108, that taqueria area. Section 108, 109, something like that. Went to go get my nachos. Wait in line for 40 minutes. Then I get there, order my food. I have media, so I'm able to get a discount, but a supervisor's needed. It should not take a supervisor 15 minutes to get to the stand. Oh, by the way, supervisor didn't even show up either. So, hooray, I got my food.
Dude, that always happens to me too, bro.
I got my food for free. Like, I'm not complaining about that at all. It's just, how can a supervisor just not have a sense of urgency?
Yeah, so, like, if
How?
you guys don't know, if you work in the arena, right, you don't have to work for the team. If you work in the arena, which we technically work in the arena as media, you get, like, half off of, like, meals, right, of food. So, but you have to call a supervisor. And let me tell you guys, bro, these supervisors don't have a sense of urgency.
A lick of it.
They don't care. And like you said, the supervisor didn't even show up.
Yep.
Joe left at the end of the first period with like 50 seconds left.
Mm-hmm.
Joe didn't come back to his chair
Until there was
like 12 minutes left
in the second
in
period.
the second period. So that's like what, 25 minutes, 30 minutes of waiting, like waiting in line, ordering your food, waiting for a supervisor.
And
like 30
then
minutes.
waiting another extra 10 or 15 minutes with my food just sitting in the heater because we're over here waiting and waiting and waiting
That's
and
pretty
waiting and yeah, they just gave me the food and we're like, yeah, take it.
Toyota Arena, we gotta get better. Okay, and on top of that,
Playoffs are coming too. You better get sharp.
well, that, and then after the game, we go to where we do the post game, like, interviews, and I gotta go rush him. I go, Joe, I'm gonna go rush him. Okay.
No
I go to
paper
the
towels.
restroom. I take a piss. I wash my hands. And by the way, it's cold down there because we're like right next to the ice. It's cold, and I go to wash my hands. And I go to dry them, and there's no paper towels. I'm like, what are we doing? So now we're right next to the ice, where hockey players wear mitts.
And your hands are
And
freezing.
my hand is just freezing.
All right, we're kind of being babies about that, but like still, how?
Oh, by the way, guys.
How?
By the way, guys, if you guys didn't know, there's no Disney on Ice this year for the playoffs.
So
good job, Toyota Arena. Let's end on the positive. Great job, Toyota.
end on a positive
Way to
and
not
let's
screw it up again.
Yeah, let's not mess this up anymore. Let's go to the rain weather report. Thank you. Yeah, Toyota Arena might be getting a 0%, but Cole Gutman is definitely getting the 100% for a hat trick and 2 assists for 5 points this week. Yep. Anytime to get hot, it's right now.
Yeah, it's a great time to get hot, right? Cole Gutman, man, I mean, he has had some season
Kid's got guts.
for the Ontario Reign, man. We knew that he was a good player coming over, and he's been everything and better, right? So I'm pretty sure when we were talking about him in like episode 2, maybe 1, maybe 3,
Something
so
on that line.
one of those episodes, right? We talked about, 23 goals, 34 assists with the Rockford IceHogs last season, 57 points, but look at his plus minus. He's a minus 14 player. Okay, we'll see what we got. Well, this season, 24 goals. He surpassed last year's total, so that is a career high, actually, from today. I didn't even realize.
Yep, there you go.
26 assists, 50 points, and he's a +1 player.
Ding.
I mean, is that him or is that Andrew Lord's system? I mean, Andrew Lord's system, you don't have a lot of guys who are negative
Oh, no.
at all.
There's one specific guy who's in the negative. Hint, hint. His name is Nikita Alexandrov. I'm going to pull it up here momentarily. His plus minus, I usually grab rosters when the Reign play home games and I'm there. I had to double take his plus minus. Nikita Alexandrov is right on that paper was a minus what, Collazo?
Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice that.
He is a minus what, Collazo?
He's a minus 26.
A minus 26.
Well, what is he
now
now
minus
after
24 with a 2-goal performance on Saturday. He was a minus 10 in 18 games for the Springfield Thunderbirds and a minus 14 in 44 games with the Reign this year.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, don't expect him on any penalty kill anytime soon. Who do you want at the 50%?
There's a lot of good options.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. When you score 13 goals.
Yeah, when you score 13 goals in 2 games, there's a lot of great players, right? I mean, Andre Lee, 4 assists, 1 goal, or 1 goal, 4 assists. Definitely can be up there. Logan Brown almost had his first career goal. That was taken away. Atu Yamson had a great week, or first goal of the season.
That.
Kenny Connors had a great week, but I'm going to go with a guy who we haven't really talked about too much. I'm going to go with Frankie Pinelli. 3 assists, but more specifically, I want to talk about the Atu Yamson goal that was originally Logan Brown in Game 2 on Saturday versus Bakersfield. He had one of the forward checks of the season.
Yeah.
He comes in, 2 guys on the board. He comes in, lays the check, grabs the puck, and then a great find to Logan Brown, who takes the shot from the high slot and tipped in by Atu Yamson.
Tipped in or redirected, and I'm going to say redirected.
I mean, it was a big play in a big game. I mean, it gave them some insurance in the third period. And without Pinelli's forecheck, which wasn't really a part of his game a couple years ago when he first came to the Reign, and even last year wasn't a great part of his game, it was a great forecheck in a big moment, in a big game. And if he plays like that moving forward, the Reign are going to be in good hands.
Yep, they will be in good hands. Guarantee that. Thank you very much. 0% is going to Brad Schuler because the power play has been borderline non-existent the past few weeks, and 1 for 7 on the power play Saturday. Sorry, somebody's got to get the 0%. Thanks for listening. Moving into next week, Tuesday, April 7th, the San Diego Gulls take on the San Jose Barracuda, and we have a potential game of the year. I mean, we have a tale of the tape, folks. The first and second place teams will go at it. The Colorado Eagles and the Ontario Reign at 7 p.m. This game potentially has division-deciding implications on it.
It really does not get bigger than this. In the entire AHL. This is probably the AHL game of the year. You know how they have like the game of the week and they post it and whatnot? This is probably the AHL game of the year. Both teams at 67 games played, separated by 1 point. And let me tell you, if the Reign can somehow take this game in regulation and they take a 3-point lead with 4 games remaining, you can probably celebrate a Pacific Division title after this game if they win in regulation.
Potentially. Barring an absolute monumental choke.
Yeah, you can walk out of that arena if they win in regulation, and you can feel so good about a first-round bye and potentially facing the lowest seed to come out of the first round in the second round of playoffs.
A man could dream, right? At the start of the year, we didn't even think we would be in this conversation. But, man, here we are on April 4th, 2026. And the Ontario Reign right now are competing for that spot. If there's an AHL Coach of the Year, I could bet you my bottom dollar that Andrew Lord is in that conversation.
Yeah.
Wednesday, April 8th, the Tucson Roadrunners, thanks for playing, take on the Bakersfield Condors. Condors, if they win that game in regulation, they will clinch a playoff spot. Henderson Silver Knights and Coachella Valley Firebirds are going at it as well. That game will determine some seeding implications. That's huge.
Big.
We got a full slate of hockey in the Pacific Division on Friday, April 10th. Abbotsford and Calgary. Cool. San Diego and Bakersfield, the 6 and the 7 seed. They're going at it. The Reign and Firebirds in Ontario for Pride Night at 7 p.m. puck drop. That has implications, of course. Reign need to win. Reign need to win out pretty much. The Tucson Roadrunners take on the Colorado Eagles. Cool. And the San Jose Barracuda take on the Henderson Silver Knights. That also will be a fun one to watch. Saturday.
If the Reign don't win that game,
Clip that, Julia.
well, I was muted.
Oh, that might have been caught on my mic though.
I muted your mic too.
Oh shoot!
We were supposed to just move along, but
all
now,
right. Anyway,
now
Saturday.
they're gonna
Thank
come
you
back.
very much. Abbotsford and Calgary play again. San Diego is in Bakersfield. Same thing. Ontario goes to Coachella Valley for a 6 p.m. puck drop. Tucson plays Colorado. San Jose plays Henderson. I have a feeling I might have just done that on accident. 4 teams will be at 70 games after this coming week. The Reign and Colorado are 2 of them. Everyone else will be at 69 games played. Moving into the standings as of April 4th and April 5th because of Easter. The Ontario Reign at 91 points, 43, 19, and 5 are in first place with a divisional magic number of
10.
10. Just like the Pearl Jam album, baby. One more win for the Ontario Reign. They will match. They will match the exact record they had because the Reign at this time played 68 games, and this will be game 68 for the Reign. They will match their inaugural season in the AHL. 44, 19, and 5 was their record in 2015, 2016. That is the year they got swept out of the conference finals by the Cleveland Monsters, or the Lake Erie Monsters at the time. Colorado Eagles in second at 40, 17, and 10, 90 points. Divisional magic number at 11. Coachella Valley Firebirds, you're playing for seeding, 39, 22, and 5, 83 points. San Jose, same thing, 39, 23, and 4, 82 points. That's how big these overtime losses matter now, especially in this part of the year. The Henderson Silver Knights. Oh, wait. The Henderson Silver Knights are 35, 20, and 11. 11 overtime losses and 81 points. Teams that have not clinched a playoff spot yet are the Bakersfield Condors and the San Diego Gulls. The Condors are 34, 22, and 10, 78 points with a magic number of 4.
What happened to them?
I don't even know.
They were in third place like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. And then you blink and then you realize how close everything is. San Diego 31, 23, and 12, 74 points with a magic number of 8. And on the outside looking in, do we declare it death day pretty much for the Tucson Roadrunners?
Yeah, we're declaring Tucson dead. The playoff picture that we see right now is going to be the playoff picture. But obviously, seeding has a lot to do with it.
Seeds 3 through 6 realistically are very interchangeable. I don't think 6, 3 through 5 are definitely interchangeable though.
Fighting for home ice, man.
Yep.
I mean, we were in this spot last year fighting for home ice. I mean, it's important.
Yep, it is extremely important. Tucson Roadrunners 30, 27, and 9, 69 points. Magic number's 13. You're going to have to win a lot of games, folks. You're going to have to win out, and even then, it ain't even guaranteed. Calgary and Abbotsford, thanks for playing. Calgary's 21, 32, and 15, 57 points. And Abbotsford, book your Cancun tickets, 24, 37, 7, 55 points.
Talk about a fall from glory, man.
I mean, fall from glory is an understatement.
Would you rather the last 3 years be this consistent in the Reign fall in round 3 again? Or would you rather fall in round 2 to Ontario, win the Calder Cup, and then be this bad the following
I'd rather win a Calder Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah. But too bad, baby. The Reign are going for that Calder Cup this year, and you cannot hide from it. It is time for Collazo's monologue / State of the Union address, and I think I might get involved on this one too.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it was just October. I mean, wasn't it just yesterday when Andre Lee scored the opening goal of the season and then Jacob Doty's fighting with the lights off? Right? I mean, and now you blink and the Reign all of a sudden have 5 games left to play. They play against the Colorado Eagles on Tuesday, which is the game of the year.
Yeah.
In the entire AHL. Not just for the Reign, not just for the Eagles, the entire AHL. And they're fighting for a Pacific Division title, man. I mean, when can you say you can't say that year after year?
I mean, as we like to say, it is the toughest division in the American Hockey League, and that is also proven because who won that AHL All-Star Challenge? The Pacific Division. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, so I mean, hey, I hope you guys enjoyed the season because
the
time to enjoy is kind of over because now the stress begins now.
Yeah.
Tuesday's game is going to be stressful.
Oh, yeah. Tuesday's game is going to be you're going to be breathing heavy. Let's just say that. The heart will be pumping at 110 beats per minute, and you will be sitting.
Yeah, and it was never going to be easy, right? You got Colorado on Tuesday. Then you got Coachella Valley for 2, who are currently in 3rd place, right?
Yep. It's not getting any easier.
It's not easy. It was never going to be easy, and it's not easy now. Yep. And the time again to enjoy is over.
Yep.
There is no more enjoying. This is the playoffs before the playoffs.
Yep.
So, I'm excited for it. The season's almost over. It's a little bit bittersweet, but I know me and you can probably agree on this. We can now wait for some meaningful hockey in April and hopefully into May, and God willing in June.
God willing in June is correct. I mean, I'm taking a look right now at the wild card standings because, folks, the Los Angeles Kings are tied for that final wild card slot with the Nashville Predators at 81 points with another overtime win. Explain to me how the Kings have 14 regulation wins this year.
I think
they have. Hold on, I'm gonna make sure.
Okay, no. Look this up. Are they going to be the lowest, or how do I word this? The team with the lowest amount of regulation wins to ever make the playoffs in the NHL?
If they do, NHL, you better load right now. You better load. Here we go. The 19 regulation wins in 76 games.
So if they make the playoffs, it's going to be the lowest ever.
Sort this. Oh my God. Hold on, I'm going to make sure. If the NHL season went by regulation wins, period, where out of 32 teams would the Kings be ranked right now?
25th.
They would be ranked 31st. The Vancouver Canucks have less. That is bonkers. The New York Rangers have more regulation
That's
wins.
crazy.
Fix your broken system, NHL. And with that, thanks for watching Season 2, Episode 29 of the Make It Rain podcast. You know the drill from here on out. You can subscribe down below or right in front of my face, probably. Follow us on all socials at Make It Rain Pod. Have a great week. Have a blessed Easter. Hope you had a blessed Easter. And we'll see you next week. Peace. I can't.
Right on his face.
I can't. There's no way. There is no way.